another. That's all we do. One puppet for another puppet, one psychopath for another psychopath. That's all we do. Just trade. We might have bought ourselves a little bit of time before Kamala gives us all the Kool-Aid. I mean, you know, who knows? But it brings us back to another thing. All this hacking going on. Oh, it's the Russians. It's the evil Russians. Well, think about this. They already tracked all the Bitcoins. They tracked it immediately. Do you think Russians aren't smart enough to know that there's stuff like Monero and Pirate Chain and Monero and stuff like that that cannot be tracked? That cannot be traced? If I was a Russian hacker and I was going to shut down a pipeline, I sure as heck wouldn't be asking for Bitcoin. If I was smart enough to shut down, if I was smart enough to hack into something and shut down a pipeline, infect it with some kind of ransomware stuff, I sure as heck would be a lot smarter than use a traceable coin. You'd want to use something like Monero or Pirate Chain or something like that that could not be traced. I'm not recommending anybody do that. This isn't financial advice. This is just education, entertainment. So don't listen to what I'm saying. But if you're an evil genius out there, surely to goodness you'd be smart enough to use an untraceable coin. That's why I believe this is a big setup. But most of your people won't believe it. Most of your people will be like, oh no, there's no way the FBI done that. Oh no, there's no way the CIA was involved. But what's this do? What does this accomplish? Number one, it promotes the hacking thing because you want to get the chip inside you. You know, you gotta eat the potato chips. You know what I mean? They want you to get the Mark Wahlbergs. But you've got to think about it. You're pushing all this hacking stuff. Oh, everybody's getting hacked. Everybody's identity's being stolen. Oh, they're going to hold you up for money. Oh, we got to get the money inside you so something like that don't happen. That plays into their scenario, plays into what they want, all this fear mongering and herding. If you're going to herd a bunch of cattle from one field to another, what do? You go out there on horses or four-wheelers or dogs or whatever, and you herd them in the direction they want to go. Sometimes you may have to take them a roundabout course to get them into the field you want them in. Sometimes when the cows suspect, hey, you're going to come through and you're going to wean the calves off of them, you've got to take that herd a different direction. Because they may not want to go through that one gate that's heading them to the lot to separate them. So you may have to take them in a back way. You might have to have a gate open to another field and take them through that one field right straight over into the other one. That's what's happening here. We're being herded. A little over here, a little over there. We're being pushed towards all this stuff. Being pushed towards having to depend on the government for everything. Destroying the economy, the Great Reset. You'll own nothing and be happy. It's the communist takeover of the world. And you're saying, well, the bankers aren't communists. Why would they want communism? You know, they want capitalism, because that's what they push, is capitalism. No, they push both sides. It doesn't matter if we're all poor, as long as they have all the money and all the control so important to use your disposable income to make more money, and then take that money and make more money. How do you do that? You do that through cryptocurrencies, real estate, precious metals, like Patrick Bet-David says, things that are non-duplicatable like gold, baseball cards, art, stuff that's non-duplicatable. Of course, I'm different. I don't see art as being a good investment anytime, because you can't eat it, you can't shoot it. So even though they're trying to devastate the livestock markets because they want to control it, they basically want to shut down the entire beef production in the United States globally, because cows are causing global warming. Tell you how crazy it was. Less than 20 minutes ago, it was 106 degrees. Now it's 93. Odd how the weather changes. Within 30 miles, the temperatures drop from 106 to 93. You think they can't control the weather? Think again. A lot of traffic today, a lot of road construction too. It's just been really crazy traveling in this area. You know, you worry about people and you hope they wake up to see what's going on. You hope they change their lifestyles and change what they're doing, so that they can survive the stuff that's coming down the lane. Even Glenn Beck, and I think he's an insider. You know, you ain't worth several $100 million if you're not an insider. I mean, you just don't get that unless you're an insider. But even he's saying hard times are coming. He acts like he's one of us, but he's really not one of us. He does a good job of acting and pretending to be. He's an actor, like most of them. But they're preparing us for something. You don't have everybody out there screaming what hard times are ahead for us without there being some kind of truth to that. Because they have to tell you what, for whatever reason, their magic rituals or whatever, they have to tell you what they're going to do to you before they do it. And I don't understand all the ins and outs of that. But you know, they told us for years 9/11 was going to happen. They had the little bombing in the 90s under Clinton in the World Trade Center. Then they did whatever they did the next time. But you had all these stuff, all these symbols and stuff in movies, The Simpsons and everything else, you know, just predictive programming. And they're doing that now. They're doing it with the pandemic too, because, you know, Contagion and Quarantine and all these movies that come out right ahead of time. And I mean, just everything. One was like a sickness. They didn't know what was going on, but they were really implanting people with aliens. People were being bodies was being taken over by alien entities. Can't remember that movie. Can't remember the name of it. I watched it. You know, all the fake alien invasion stuff. How they talk about how they're going to colonize the moon, colonize Mars, and all this stuff. And they just, some kind of military guy just come out and said, oh, there's life on all kinds of planets in the universe. Just the universe is extremely populated. How does he know? We never even been to the moon. We don't know anything. But people believe it because if you repeat a lie enough, it becomes truth. I used to believe it myself. I used to think my great-grandpa was crazy. And he said, oh, they didn't go to the moon. Supposedly, these guys was talking back and forth with just a second or so difference answering them. They were supposedly on the moon filming and sending the footage back. And with very little delay. And the same time here on Earth, if you was like calling someone from England, you had like a pretty good space there of delay. You know, you would ask a question and you have to wait a while before you get your answer back. You know, and that was just going from one side of the planet to the other. If it's really a planet, just one side of the ocean to the other. We don't know what this thing is. We just know we're here. Some of us are here. But my great-grandpa, he was like, there's no way they did that. And I used to think he was plumb crazy. You know, because I watched, you know, the Challenger thing, you know, the Challenger explosion. You know, they beefed up that teacher, you know, was going to be the first teacher in space. You know, we were all going to go to our senior trips to the moon, just all kinds of crazy stuff that they were pushing on us as kids. And in the 80s, you know, we were going to take over and do everything, you know. And I thought my grandpa was insane for saying that we are, you know, that we never went to the moon. But now, after all these years later, half those astronauts that supposedly died on that Challenger thing are alive. Now, how's that? They're all supposed to be dead. But you can find almost every one of them alive and well today. A whole lot of questions out there and no answers. Just do the research. When it comes to anything, the government tells you, just do your own research. Make your own decisions. It's a sad time when everybody just lets everybody else tell them what to do, what to think, and what to believe. That's how they hurt us. I'll leave a link below to the podcast, Your Wealth Plan podcast. We're now able for listener support. I ask that you join in, subscribe, and please share. We have some great shows coming up here in the future. Also, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram and interact with us there. I'll leave links in the video below. Y'all have a great day. God bless.